Hi, my name is Abigail and I'm the Premium Support Executive at EPI-USE Labs. With me today is Sally and Suzanne from Nestlé UK, and we're going to talk about how we address their reporting issues through Query Manager and our premium support services. We also have Paola with us, who has been the main consultant working with Nestlé over the past few years. Can you please tell me more about your roles at Nestlé?
Hi, Abigail. I'll start, shall I? My name's Suzanne Buse. I've worked for Nestlé for over 30 years in a variety of HR and IT roles, and I am the lead for the Business Solutions IT HR team.
I'm Sally Sainer, also working for Nestlé, obviously, in Suzanne's team. I have been working for Nestlé, previously Roundtree, for many, many years, even before the desktop PC. I started as a computer programmer and I'm currently supporting HR and payroll systems, have been doing for over 35 years.
Great, thank you. And can you tell me a little bit more about Nestlé?
Okay, so yep, we are the largest food and beverage manufacturer in the world. Obviously, a lot of people know us through our brands. We've got over 2,000 brands. We're present in 187 countries. In Nestlé UK, Sally and I work in Market IT, which is based both in Gatwick, but we're actually based in the York office, so Gatwick and York. And York, of course, is the home to the iconic Kit Kat brand, so the big manufacturing site for Kit Kat in the UK. Obviously, people know us as well for other products like Nescafe, Buxton Water, Purina Dog Pet Food and Pet Care. So yes, we are very omnipresent in lots of marketplaces. And from an IT point of view, now Sally will correct me on these dates, but we have had a few landmark go lives with SAP. We started with SAP in the late 90s, and we moved to SuccessFactors SAP as well in the last couple of years, which is another major change. So we've been through a number of different iterations of SAP. But we're now running SuccessFactors, SAP, and obviously for us in our team, we support a lot of the core systems, including, as Sally mentioned, payroll and time management.
What was your challenge before Query Manager was implemented?
Challenge, okay, so I think it's the usual problem that people normally have is wanting to report on both HR and payroll data in the same report. Previously, we didn't have a way of doing that in SAP itself, so we were interfacing SAP HR data and payroll data into a local SQL Server database and producing reports from there for external software providers and internally, mostly for our pensions team. And we just needed a better and more compliant way of dealing with that and not having to hold the sensitive data on a local database in a UK server. We needed to report direct from source, really. That was our main challenge.
How does that compare to what you ultimately use Query Manager for now? Most useful achievement, for example?
I think we're still at that stage, really. We've used Query Manager so far just to replace the reporting that we were doing from our local systems. We've got about 10 reports at the moment, varying complexity, and we've had 3 different EPI-USE consultants with us to help us produce those reports. And that's probably the extent of what we're using it for at the moment. We haven't moved into using it on a day-to-day basis or getting our business users to use it yet. But it's mostly just to resolve compliance issues for now.
Why is that important for Nestlé?
the security and compliance, really. We wanted to be able to report on sensitive data from source and not hold it in a different place, and thereby satisfying our auditors apart from anything else. But we just wanted to do everything in a more compliant way.
How often do you use Query Manager?
Well, the reports that you guys have developed for us are running daily, weekly, monthly, depending on the requirements. And I think as an IT team, we've managed to pick up some skills because we have had to do some slight changes to reports, and we've also picked up skills from our consultants as they've been with us. I think we need to get into the mindset of being able to use Query Manager on a daily basis, and I don't think we're quite yet there yet. There's a lot more potential that we need to realise so far. And we need to be able to tell our business users, or teach them, or get them to understand how they might want to use Query Manager and be able to sort of spread the knowledge around. I think we're at the start of our journey, shall we say.
What is your one key tip for others facing this challenge?
I think if we were to start again, we'd probably say we'd recommend having a face-to-face session with the people at EPI-USE, just to advise on best practice and hints and tips and other guidance to support our development. So hopefully once people can travel again, we may be able to organise that.
What challenges led you to require our premium support services?
I think we can sum it up by saying that we had some complex requirements. We had some needs that were perhaps a little bit hard to predict. I think sometimes when you first go into this type of project or piece of work, it is quite hard to forecast what you're going to need and the time required. So we really wanted the flexibility to be able to work together as a team, and that was great to have that ability to have a face-to-face meeting with Paola to really get to know each other and for her to understand what we were trying to do. So I think it was the benefits of that flexibility, feeling that we didn't have to do everything to a certain beat. We could be a bit more flexible and see how things evolved as we went along with the project.
And can you tell me a bit more about your experience with the last premium support service delivered by Labs?
Well, obviously it was with Paola, so it was fantastic. We were able pre-COVID to meet face to face, and I think we all found that was a real benefit. Because actually, even us, we don't always meet with our own internal customers. So for us to meet with our pensions team was a great bonus. To have Paola there as well, was fantastic that we could all get together, put a face to the name, and that really set us up well, I think, for the piece of work that we were going to do, which we knew was going to be quite complex and difficult. So it was great to have that rapport to start with amongst the team. And I think we just appreciated the fact that we knew that we could obviously communicate by email when we needed to, and then organise meetings, which I think towards the end we were on sort of fortnightly meetings. Obviously there was a chunk of work that we did in a more concentrated way, but it was great to have that, as I say, that great level of flexibility.
That kind of leads on to the next question, which is what was the added value of utilising PSS days over a fixed price engagement in regards to this issue?
Well, as I say, I think it takes away that element of having to try and figure out what you need, because you know that you've got built-in flexibility there. You've also got quite an easy way of accessing the service, because obviously working with you, Abby, it was very straightforward to drop you or Paola an email, and I think we appreciated the fact that flexibility was always there. And I think it was ease of use. You know, it was easy to administer. Often things can be quite complex in this area, but we knew that we had the service. It was all set up and established and ready to go.
Great. And what does it mean to Nestlé to have this pool of days available for you?
I think it means that we can react to things if we need to, because we are a small team. We have got obviously a lot of other pieces of work on the go at any one time. So we have other projects, we've got the day-to-day tickets coming in, etc. So to be able to have that resource there to call upon has been great, because we know that we have a certain number of days that we can then allocate to different things. If we do run into any problems, we know that we can easily pull on that extra time that we might need.
And what would you advise others when looking at Query Manager and our premium support services?
I think it's really good to have a good idea of what you are trying to do. It sounds obvious, but sometimes it's not always completely clear. And that really did, we did have a clear goal, so that was important, but we also had some flexibility to work with Paola to work out, did we need to do things in the way that we did it before? So I think you always have to question yourself to say, actually, do we need to do this way? Or can we take the opportunity to simplify or streamline? That being said, it's still obviously a complex area that we've tackled. And obviously for us, Query Manager gives that benefit of having access to that data that isn't very accessible in other ways. And that, as we were saying earlier, and as Sally was saying, we really want to exploit that. So I think it's really good to work with someone with Paola's knowledge to really open your eyes to what is feasible. And therefore, I think having that pool of days because of the premium service gives you that confidence that you know that you don't have to have got absolutely everything worked out up front. You can let things evolve a bit. And I'm sure we will evolve to look at other reports, other things that we can use Query Manager for.
Great. Thank you both so much for joining us. It's really good to hear that we've made such a difference at Nestlé.
Thank you.
Thank you.